And I got all my sisters with me. And I rhyme this time. Oh, this is ladies' night. Oh, what, ladies' night. And the feeling's right. Oh, this is ladies' night. Oh.
What are you doing?
Nothing. By the way, my husband's getting ready to do a review on Miss Lady Legion right there. But this is Ladies' Night.
And it don't stop. Ladies' night. Oh, this is ladies' night. Ladies' night. And the feeling's right. Oh, this is ladies' night. Oh.
Yeah! Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? What? Yeah! Y'all ready to play some football? Just let's go! If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. I'm about to...
What's going on, people? LP2000 right back at you with another X Plus figure review, and today I'm doing the much anticipated release of the 25 centimeter Legion from the awesome Kaiju film Gamera 2, The Advent of Legion or The Attack of Legion. And as you can see, I have the box right here. I'm not in the shop just yet because this box is so massive. So I figured I'd do something different and just show the massive box first before we get into the figure, because I couldn't fit both of them on the table. But this is a good looking box, whatever. It's big, massive, like I said, kind of like the Gigantic series, whatever. And as a matter of fact, it can pass for a Gigantic series figure from X Plus, to be honest with you. The silhouette of Legion here, Gamera 2, the Japanese language title of the film, Legion here in Japanese, and yeah, that's pretty much it with this big, massive box. I mean, and to be perfectly honest with you, when I saw pictures of this box on Facebook or whatever, or online, I didn't think it was going to be this big, but it is. And you know what? I don't want to trash it. I may just keep it just for furniture purposes, because that's what I do sometimes. So it will serve a purpose for now, but for right now, oh my God, this thing is just so big. But I am actually happy with the fact that it is big, and for the packaging that's inside, because it actually secured the figure well. And Legion's a very delicate figure, which you'll see in a couple of seconds. So I'm glad they took the extra precautions of making the extra size box so that Legion would not be damaged on its way here from Japan. So let's get into the figure. So first, let's get this gigantic. Come on, whatever. All right, I'm coming. Here we go. And yes, this is Legion. Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm not gonna be asleep at the wheel here, so yeah, you're gonna see my fat, ugly face. So yeah, here we go. This is Legion. Oh, by the way, before we get to Legion, also a huge shout out to Christopher Fielding. Thank you for this awesome Gamera shirt. Christopher Fielding, thank you very much. I love this Gamera shirt, and I want to wear it just for this special occasion of this awesome Gamera villain here in Legion. So let's get into the figure. Woo! Oh my God, such an amazing piece. Yes, it is. It is amazing on so many different levels. This is the standard. I don't have the ripboard. The ripboard came with light up eyes, and also you can open her horns here, and it has lights. I think it had lights here, and especially here, where right here in the abdomen where she would disperse her little mini legions, and it could double as a lamp, to be honest with you, but but I'm glad I got the standard. Whether you go Rick or standard with this figure, you can't go wrong. It really is a must-have. Yes, just an awesome piece here. Little backstory about this figure. Now, X Plus did make a small version of this figure a while back. I forgot what year it was, whatever. But they have done Legion before. But it was nowhere near this big, this massive, and especially this detailed. Fast forward last year, at the Summer Wonder Festival in Japan around late July, early August. Yeah, late July, I believe. They showed a prototype of this sculpt, of this figure of Legion. So we knew Legion was coming. And at the card on the table at the show, it had the date of like 12. So we kind of assumed that it was going to come out like December of last year. But at that time, they were all making plans to release Destroyer, 25 centimeter Destroyer. And I mean, since I'm kind of like, I'm not new to the game. I kind of have an idea how X Plus does things sometimes, even though they throw curveballs at us every now and then, which I will touch on later on in this video. But X Plus was going to release the Destroyer last year, which they did. And I had an idea that they were going to push both these releases at the end of the year. However, only Destroyer ended up getting made. And as awesome as X Plus is, I knew they couldn't make two big, massive, complicated sculpted creatures like Destroyer and Legion and have them both out at the same time. So I figured it had to be one or the other one, and lo and behold, it was Destroyer. And actually, it kind of works to Legion's benefit to be released this year, since this year is the 20th anniversary of the film Gamera 2: The Advent of Legion. Fast forward a couple months later, in Super Festival 71 in Japan, I think earlier this year, like around April or March, something like that, they showed this sculpt again. So we knew that Legion was coming this year. We knew at some point it was coming. Now, mind you, the sculpt was not painted and detailed as it is here. It was just the overall sculpt of what you see here. It just wasn't painted or whatever. Then around June, fast forward to June, they showed it painted and everything, and that's when we found out that Legion was coming out, and it just got released early this month, September. Today is September 24th. Yes, September 24th. So it just got released early this month, and which was kind of surprising at first, because we thought that maybe it was going to be released like later in September, kind of, sort of. But I'm glad they finally were able to get this out to us as soon as they did. So yeah, that's a elongated backstory of this figure. Whatever. It really is a cool piece, whatever. And I know that Legion may not be as popular as a lot of other kaiju villains out there, like a King Ghidorah, or Mechagodzilla, or a Hedra, a Gigan, Mothra, whatever. You really have to be a kaiju fan, or at least a Gamera fan, to know who Legion is. So I expected Legion not to really be a really big seller. You know what I mean? But I understand it did sell well, whatever. And there are a lot of folks that really wanted to get this figure, and some folks wanted to get this figure but couldn't afford to, because there were a lot of other stuff that's coming out. Once again, I will touch on that later on. I'm going to rant about that. You may not disagree with what I have to say when it comes to that, but it needs to be said. But in the meantime, let's just enjoy this piece. Normally I go up close and personal, but look at this. This thing speaks for itself. The details off the chain. And you know what? I don't really know what to use the words to describe Legion. You know what I mean? Of course, it's insect-like, but it's an alien. Whatever. So they did a great job. There's the articulation on this figure. You can move whatever these little limbs here. You can't move anything far as the back. Of course, her little claws here around the base of her head, if you want to call it her head, or at least her back or whatever. These can move. Just be mindful of the fact that these can run a risk of breaking off if you apply too much pressure. I did see one report on Facebook that one person had one of the mandibles broken off. It was an easy fix with super glue, but just be careful, because like I said, these are articulated and they're like in little joints or whatever. So just don't apply too much pressure if you don't want to break these. And of course, the head opens right here, as you can see. And hopefully, let me see. Also, it came with magnets, because in order for the head to stay shut, they gave you little magnets that you could put one right here, maybe one right there. But mine, because they gave you two magnets, mine are really stuck together. But it still allows the head to be shut. And there's like a little appendage here that you have to insert inside the head. I don't know if it's like that for all Legions, but mine is like that. It's no big deal. But in order to close it properly, you have to put this little appendage in this little slot right here. It's funny, it only happens on this side, not this side. Because this one is open and closes really good. But this one, sometimes this little small appendage comes out. You have to insert it back in just to close the horns properly. And once you do, the magnets hold the head, hold the the horns of her head together. That way, if you want to display it like this, or if you want to display it like this, I mean, it's really your prerogative. Normally, I have mine displayed closed. The only time she really opened her head was like when she was firing her beams at Gamera to either impale him or cause him harm or whatever. But normally, I just have mine head closed like this. But yes, that's pretty much it for as like articulation, whatever. I mean, it is a little bit. I mean, especially around here with the claws here. So you can have them open. Sometimes the vinyl will like go down, whatever. But it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Yes, this is woo. My God, this is just such an amazing piece. And you know what? I've been looking forward to this release for a long time. Ever since they announced it, or at least they showed the sculpt last year, I have been really anticipating this release. It's like every month when S Plus announce stuff, I'm always looking for, is this Legion coming? Is it coming? When is it coming? And we kind of knew it was going to be expensive. And it is expensive. It is an expensive piece. But considering the amount of detail they put into this thing, and especially the oversized gargantuan packaging, it's really worth the investment, especially if you're a Gamera fan, or if you're not a Gamera fan, if you're just a Kaiju fan in general. Legion really is a cool villain. If you haven't seen the film, stop this. Just stop this video right now. Go see Gamera 2: Advent of Legion. You will not be disappointed. It's one of the best Kaiju films out there. You know what I mean? Just pause it, watch it, then come back. If not, enjoy the presentation of this figure. Yes, this is just an amazing piece. You know, whatever. Just the dirty bone white color of her color scheme. Cause yes, this is a female, kind of like Biollante. It's funny like how the female monsters are kind of like the biggest. You know, whatever. And it's a 25. Can you imagine a 25 centimeter? Can you imagine if it was 30 centimeters? So basically, since Biollante is very massive, you know what? Hold on a second. Because you saw it in the intro with my beautiful wife. I hope you enjoyed that. But let me just grab Biollante right fast so you can get a good idea what's going on. Because for a while, Biollante was really like, with the exception of the Gigantic series, Biollante was really like the biggest figure that X Plus has ever done. Hopefully it's in the shot right here. Hopefully in the shot right here. But yes, basically, these are both 25 centimeter figures, believe it or not, and they're both female. And of course, this is on the Toho side of things. This is on the Daiei side of things. So basically, this is like, it's like another version of Biollante with the size or whatever. So, but yes, they look great together. You know, whatever. This is probably just like the only size comparison I'm going to do. Cause I don't want to drown the figure review with size comparisons. Because really, Legion can only go with one figure, and that is Gamera, and you'll see that in a couple seconds. But yes, I just wanted to bring these two together. Hopefully we won't have any problems, because you know when females get together, sometimes especially if they have difference of opinions, sometimes a cat fight would ensue. But as a matter of fact, we had this kind of discussion on Facebook like a couple weeks ago, like what would happen if Biollante and Legion got into it. I would like to think that Legion had more powers at her disposal. Biollante was more fragile as a monster, even though she was big and massive and she was dangerous to a certain degree. But between the two, I have to go with Legion. The fact that she has lasers in her head, she can disperse and control those little mini legions. She could be airborne. She's had a lot more tools than Biollante. So between the two, I have to go with Legion. As far as like which one I like better, as far as the figure, I don't know, man. I don't know, because I've been waiting for Biollante for a long time. Legion kind of like came out of nowhere. I didn't think they were going to make a this size Legion, you know, whatever. It never really crossed my mind. Even though I wanted one, I didn't think they were going to make one, because Destroyer was a complicated monster to make, and they ended up making that one. So I was at the time when that figure was released, I was really just so happy that they finally got this one out to us, that Destroyer out to us, that I didn't even consider that they were consider going to other directions, making other more complicated monsters like this Legion. But now I have them both together. I don't know. I like them both the same. I really do. But they do look. They both look awesome together. So, yeah. That's it with the first size comparison. One more size comparison, and that's pretty much it. But yes, this is just an awesome piece. Oh, also comes with a stand. It comes with a stand for Legion. All you gotta do is just attach the stand underneath this thing right here. Once again, I don't know what this part of the monster is. As a matter of fact, like I said, I don't know how to classify a Legion other than it's just an alien. It's just insect-like, whatever. And now I'm looking at it. They really did, once again, they did an awesome job. X Plus did an amazing job with this piece, whatever. And it's especially right here, this little abdomen here where they had like, I don't know. Once again, don't know what to call it, but it's the area where she would just disperse her little legions. It's just the material, translucent material, where you can shine a light almost against it, and it would give off some kind of exuberance. Yes, they did a great job with this. They really did a great job with this. Yes, even the eyes. The eyes has a clear plastic of blue on it. Woo! Just an amazing piece. Sorry about Lante. You're cool, but it's not about you. It's about Legion. So, yes. So let's go with the last size comparison, and then I'll talk about my thoughts of Gamera 2, the advent of Legion, as well as another issue that I need to address. All right. Thank you for hanging there with me. All right, let's go. Okay, folks, I'm back with the last size comparison of our thoughts of Gamera 2 Advent of Legion or Attack of Legion. And speaking of Gamera, I have a 30 centimeter RMC. It's a resin piece from X Plus of Gamera 1996. And of course, it's the last size comparison, and it's the most appropriate one I could do. Mind you, they did come up with a 25 centimeter Gamera 1996. And I know maybe people who are OCD out there will probably say this Gamera is a little bit too big. And in a way, it is just a tad too big. But still, Legion is still the bigger of the two. So I feel the effect still works. So whether you have the 25 or the 30 or the RMC one, 96 Gamera, you can't go wrong with this setup. Awesome setup. So yes, and of course I got my Legion horn open, so you can just a new perspective. So. All right, let's talk about Gamera 2, the Advent of Legion. Now, I can understand, like I talked about earlier about Legion not being a well-known monster, I can understand that a lot of Kaiju fans or a lot of people that are getting into these Kaiju movies, I can understand that they don't know who Legion is, because maybe how Gamera's reputation was very questionable in his Showa film career. They probably saw some of those campy and very kid-friendly Gamera Showa films and decided not to give his Heisei films a chance, which I can definitely understand that. Because the Showa Gamera, even though I enjoyed the films, I like the films, as well as like my brother from another mother, Eric Henry, and a lot of other Gamera fans and enthusiasts out there. We enjoy these films for what they are, but I can understand how it can turn some people off with the way they push the kiddie element in those films. And some people complain that Godzilla was too goofy in some of his Showa films, but Gamera, that they pushed that a lot in his Showa film career, at least towards the tail end. The first three Showa Gamera films, I would say, are really, 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 really good. As a matter of fact, those three I recommend to anybody. The rest of them, you really have to be a Gamera fan to really enjoy them. That's just my opinion. So I can understand if you watched those films and saw how campy it was, that you would not want to give Gamera a chance in his Heisei films. But Mr. Shusuke Kaneko, the guy who did the awesome GMK as well as the Gamera Heisei films, he really turned things around with the characterization of Gamera with his films. With Gamera Guardian of the Universe, Gamera 2 Attack of Legion, and Gamera 3 The Revenge of Iris. And I've also said many times before, with all due respect to Godzilla, between the two, I think Gamera had the better Heisei career. With the show, it's kind of opposite. I think Godzilla had the better Showa film career than Gamera. But in the Heisei, I have to say the tables were turned in favor of Gamera in this situation. Just the three films are just great, especially starting with Gamera Guardian of the Universe. A great film, whatever. But then when they went to this film, Gamera 2, it got better. And normally it doesn't work that way. Sequels don't really, very, very rarely do a sequel end up performing or at least better quality-wise than its predecessor. But with these Gamera films, they got better as they went along. I would argue, see, that's the thing with me. I love Gamera 3, the next film in the series, but I have a hard time picking which one is really the best because they both are good. I mean, like I said, even all three of them, they're really, really good. Even though I look at Garden of Universe, it's a little bit lower between Gamera 2 and Gamera 3. But if you were to ask me which one, or which is the best Gamera film of all time, it would have to be between Gamera 2 and Gamera 3. It's a toss-up. It just depends on what day you catch me because they both are good. They're really, really good. One thing I enjoy about Gamera 2, aside from Gamera's design, because I love his design, it's like my number 2 behind the 1966 from Gamera vs. Baragon. It's almost there. I just love his design in this film. That's one thing that I enjoy about his Heisei films. As each story got darker, so does Gamera appearance, whatever. He's no longer looking like the kid-friendly hero as he was in the Showa films. As a matter of fact, in this film, they will incorporate some CGI where they were able to incorporate a little bit of a different look of Gamera. I mean, a different look of Gamera when he flew. Like when he flew, normally he'll fly. He flies in like in many different variations. He can fly, spinning around like I mean, as we all know him to do with fire, shooting out out of his ports, whatever. He spins around, whatever, like a UFO. There are times where just 2 ports are used, and he puts his arms out. He flies like he's Superman. But then in this film, he was able to. Obviously, I believe that because Gamera Garden Universe did so well. Mr. Kaneko, I guess, was allowed to change Gamera's design when he flew. So now when he flies, his arms can convert into like flippers. So when he flies, he has more aerodynamic type of capabilities when he flies. I think that was really good, especially for his design or whatever. Between that, the special effects, especially like even during the flying sequences, or at least like when Gamera when Gamera begins to fly. As you see him here standing up, and when he begins to fly. Normally back in the day, if we were to see Gamera flying, and then when he lands, it cuts away, and then it cuts back to him. He's standing on all fours. But they were able to incorporate some CGI that looked good, where it's all one shot where Gamera flies, or when he takes off, and he still converts into his regular form. They were able to do that really, really good. They were able to incorporate CGI really, really, really good. Also, what I love about Gamera 2 versus Legion is the fact that even though Legion is an unknown monster, they really portray this monster as deadly as any monster could be. Whatever. Like, she's up there to me, like with Hedra and Space Godzilla. And they weren't, and of course, they were able to concoct a very, very good story. A complicated story, nonetheless, but still a great story. That doesn't mean because it's complicated. What I mean by complicated is the fact that these Gamera films, you have to sit there from beginning to end to understand what's going on, because it's layers. It has layers. It has complicated layers that, if you was to get up and leave and miss some part of the plot, you may be confused. To me, I call these the thinking man's kaiju films, or kind of equivalent to the Dark Knight Rises trilogy, whatever. It's just that they were able to have a great, complicated story. It wasn't about Legion coming down to taking over the Earth. It wasn't simplistic as that. It's the fact that they not only want to take over this planet, but they want to, it's like a powerful plan in the grand scheme of things. They want to, with little mini legions, you have to watch the film. Like I said, pause this video and watch the film. I'm talking spoilers here, where they had the little mini legions that, that build this massive flower, which the idea was to catapult their seed into space, which would then land on another planet so they can infest that world. So it's just an amazing film that has some real thought behind it. Even though it's kind of complicated, but still, that's one of the main reasons why I love this film so much. Besides Gamera design, the idea of Legion, the whole story is just really, really, really good. I highly recommend you seeing this film. Like I said, take all that you have seen about the show Gamera films, with him being kid friendly and giving kids rides on his shell, or having a race with kids in the submarine, or him following kids to another planet to save them. Forget all that silly stuff, whatever. Forget all that. Watch the Gamera Heisei films. You will not be disappointed. Like I mentioned before, I think Gamera 2 and Gamera 3 are the best Gamera films, hands down. Unquestionably, the best Gamera films of all time. And it really was the measuring stick when it comes to Kaiju films, whatever. Like I said, Gamera's Heisei films, I think, are better than Godzilla's as a whole. Whatever. Godzilla's Heisei film career, like I mentioned before, I enjoy some of them. I don't enjoy all of them. But with Gamera's Heisei films, I enjoy every single one of them. Even though they're different films, it still comprise one big story arc. But yet, it still takes Gamera, and especially his characterization, especially the foes he fights in different directions, that, a case can be made for each individual film about which is the best. To me, I look at them all the same. They're just awesome. They're awesome on so many levels, and I highly recommend you pick it up. Like I said, go to Walmart, Amazon, you can pick these Blu-rays up. As a matter of fact, I think all of his films are on like one Blu-ray pack for a really good price. So, yes, give these Heisei films a chance. You will not be disappointed. Now, I'm about to touch on something like I mentioned before, which may ruffle some feathers with my fellow collectors out there, whatever, but I think it needs to be said. When this Legion came out, we knew it was coming, but we didn't know at the time when specifically it was coming. And X Plus decided to bring this figure, the Kamacuras, the insects from Son of Godzilla, as well as the Rick Boys, the 3-pack, and the Rick exclusive of the Godzilla 1973 25 centimeter, all on the same day. And I think the timing of of course, I'm happy that these releases are coming, but I think the timing is questionable, whatever, because you got all these collectors out here. Not to mention, these things are not cheap to begin with. They're very, very expensive. So I think that they should have spaced these releases out a little bit better for consumers to be comfortable with, whatever. Because I know for a fact, because after this figure was released, 2 weeks later, which is around this time, they released the gigantic GMK Godzilla figure from X Plus, a reissue. It was a different color, darker color with blue dorsal plates or whatever. So they released that figure 2 weeks after this was released. And I know some people that couldn't afford both of these. They opted to get Legion, but they wanted the GMK, but they couldn't afford both, and vice versa. Some people couldn't afford Legion, so they opted to get the gigantic GMK. And I just think that that's just bad as a hobby, whatever. Because like I said, these things are very, very expensive. They're not cheap. And I think that they would have been better served to release these figures better. Like I know for a fact there's some people that are still recovering financially from the gigantic Godzilla 1962 that came out. And that was almost 3 months ago, whatever. So I think X Plus needs to do a better job with the timing of them releasing these figures. Because a lot of people can't keep up. And a lot of people are being more selective about what they want or what they want to get. And, whatever, it's just all these releases coming at one time. Don't get me wrong, I think it's great. Between Legion, 73 Godzilla Kamacuras, as well as the Gigantic 54 that's coming, the Godzilla 84 Rick that's coming, the Gamera 96 Rick that's coming, what else? The Ultraman Gigantic that's coming, whatever. I think all those releases are great. I just think X Plus needs to slow it down just a little bit. Just slow it down. Because a lot of folks are not able to keep up. And a lot of folks just don't have the money to be shelling out these things. They don't have the money to pay $500 or $400 every single month. So I hope that X Plus really just tighten the reins up a little bit. Just bring it back. Scale it back just a little bit. We want these things. Don't get me wrong. Us as collectors, we want these things. But trust me, there are a lot more things that are important out there, such as mortgage, gas in your car, food in your stomach, whatever. And between this and these figures, we're going to choose our priorities. But at the same time, this is our hobby. We love doing this stuff. But at the same time, we don't want to sacrifice what we need to do with stuff that we want to do. So hopefully X Plus will do a better job with the timing of releases of these figures, because it's really hurting some people out there. And I kind of wish a lot of people were able to get this Legion, and some people weren't because of the timing, whatever. I really feel for those people. So hopefully X Plus, if anybody from X Plus is watching, we love your products. We really do. We just be more mindful of the timing. I don't know what's going on over there. Maybe they're under a lot of pressure to get all these things out at one time. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But at the same time, the problem is still here. The problem is still having all these releases on us at one time, and a lot of folks are not going to be able to get all these things, whatever. So hopefully X Plus will do a better job in the future, but we shall see when that happens. But until then, that pretty much concludes my review of the X Plus 25cm Legion from Gamera 2, the Advent of Legion or the Attack of Legion. You got any questions, holler me down in the comment section or hit me up on Facebook, Beer Mark Calloway. We'll definitely go for there. Once again, first of all, thanks to my wife for doing that. I appreciate it. I love you. Once again, like I said, one thing that's better than being a Kaiju fan or X Plus or Kaiju supporter is being married to one. And, you know, she has figures in her own right. So, yes, thank you, babe, for doing that. I really do appreciate it. I love you. Also, thank you, Christopher Fielding, for this awesome Gamera shirt. Thank you very much. You're the man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And, yes. This has been great. I love this piece. I love Legion. Yes, if you can find one for a good price, please pick it up because, once again, it's going to be like Biollante. In a few months from now, she's going to be up there in price. $500, $600, even more. So do what you have to do to get your hands on this figure. You'll not be disappointed with this piece, the X Plus 25cm Legion. All right? I thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see y'all again on the next figure and movie review. All right? Y'all take it easy.